unmute the mic and pull the mic over here, and bada bing, bada boom, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9003, episode 97. I literally just fucking checked it, already forgot the number.
I literally just told you to.
Yeah, he... Oh.
I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up, okay?
No.
So anyway, this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater. I'm your host, SneakyDevil. We got Norwegian, we got Max,
Gaming.
and we got Gray. I mean, what the fuck do I even pay Atin for anymore?
Did you ever?
Well, yeah, Satin receives a small bit of any earnings
I'm
as
gonna
well
reduce
as...
I'm gonna reduce his cut to 5%.
Oh, that's a pretty significant cut.
Well, he should be here more often.
Meanwhile, I need to actually edit to make sure I actually have earned my cuts.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it would probably help, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna pull up the footage that has been sitting on this thing for like...
So, anyway, yes, here we go. Yeah, everything's loaded. The chat's working just fine. We're green across the board. So let us begin tonight with, what would you guys say? What do you guys think a good fic to start tonight off would be? A DXD My Hero Academia, thank you for your contribution.
Oh, God.
Oh, huh.
Oh, right, I should probably log in before I...
Might be an idea.
Make sure you log into the right account.
Yeah, I'm trying to log into the right account because it has all my fucking settings saved to it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, or can Chrome can
useful.
also delete all my settings. Alright, so let's get this text to a size that I can read.
Oh, yes, maximum font size.
You look, just because I'm going blind doesn't mean you can make fun of me for it.
You fucking still managed to misread everything, dude. Like, come the fuck on.
Look, just because I have to guess half the letters.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to continue that.
He's welcome to if he wants.
I still, to this day, do not know how I've
stop.
managed to keep my driver's license.
Yeah.
To be fair, most signs are reduced to simple colors and shapes. They're meant to be recognizable at a glance. So that probably helps.
Yes.
I don't know what to be more amused by, the Vermont driving license or the New Jersey driving license story. Because with New Jersey driving license, I managed to get it by just saying I had a doctor's note without ever producing one. And they were just like, oh, okay, here's your license. And then with Vermont, they were like, can you read this? And I'm like, no. They're like, well, then we can't give you a license. I'm like, oh, I already have my license. I just need a Vermont version. And they're like, oh, you already have your license. That's okay then. Here you go. And I'm just sitting here like, wait.
See, here's the thing. I don't know which is more Sneaky, I don't know which of these is more concerning. The fact that the way you got your license, or the fact that I couldn't, that like, I didn't have a doctor's note. I didn't lie about having a doctor's note. I took the test, and they still gave me a license anyway.
No, hold on. No, I didn't lie about having a doctor's note. I just didn't have one. So basically, I walked in to my DMV, and they're like, can you read this? I'm like, no. And they're like, we can't give you a license then. I'm like, can I call my eye doctor and have him say that I totally, can drive? And they're like, well, I guess. So I call them up, and I'm like, this is my eye doctor. Here's the phone. And they take the phone, and my eye doctor's like, hi, I'm the eye doctor. He can totally drive. And they're like, well, okay, you're the eye doctor. You said he can drive. Here's your license.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
The thing is none of us were lying. He was my eye doctor. It's just that no one fucking checked beyond me saying the guy on the phone is my eye doctor.
Did he ever give proof that he was a doctor?
No. He was just like, I'm the eye doctor. He can drive.
Well, sounds good to
And
me.
that is why we have sneaky driving as a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Potatoes is saying that apparently during their driving exam they hit a traffic cone while parallel parking still passed. Yeah, do you know the reason for that, Potatoes?
You can make
It's
one
because
mistake.
nearly all DMVs have realized that parallel parking is not actually something you will ever do.
Unless you live in a city.
I was about to caveat that with the only time I've seen a DMV care about it is downtown Chicago, right? Because all my friends in downtown Chicago were like, "What do you mean you didn't have to parallel park?" I'm like, I live in the suburbs. They know that it doesn't matter shit to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
It's somewhat more involved over here, but I'm not gonna get into it because.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Anyway, so this is a My Hero Academia DxD story called creatively My Hero Academia DxD.
Wait. Did we cover this?
We
I
shouldn't
don't
have.
think so.
No, this is the only result of this ever being covered.
Why does this sound... No, there are 2 results for this.
What
We
the fuck?
covered this at the start of November. November 3rd.
No, I literally just put that full up. Wait.
Just put in the ID, not the full. Wait, full link too.
No, I did.
Search the link.
No, I did, and it said
You
there was
want
only
picture
one
fucking
result.
proof?
And then I hit enter again, and now it says there's 2 results.
Well, that's interesting.
I think it might have been indexing the new message. Maybe
Oh,
that's
you know what really threw me off? It's that Shadow commented right before each one.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, well, we don't have to look at this.
All right, so yeah,
Excellent.
thank God
Let's
we'll never
go.
have to look at that one. So let's do this Naruto high school.
Yep. All right. Lay it on.
Oh, wait. Oh, FTDS.
Is it?
It's actually FTDS.
Oh fuck, you're right. It is.
We
Okay.
probably can't read, and I'm sure this is
Do it.
TOS breaking.
I'm sure not only is this TOS breaking, I'm sure FTDS is gonna sue me for copyright infringement.
Yeah, probably.
Oh no! He'll do it with all of his male model money.
Yes, is all.
Wait, actually, no. This is not TOS breaking. The first chapter, at least. It's just really fucking cringe. It's a short one though. You can do it in like 10 minutes, probably.
How about a Duck
About 10
Dynasty
minutes.
fic?
I mean, 2
I'm gonna have
hours.
to ask you to stop, Potatoes.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
You couldn't tell that it was FTS from how it began with Naruto the. Actually, I couldn't tell it was a Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer fic because I don't pay attention to the names of fics anymore. Look, I have over 900 unused links. At this point, I mainly just look what the crossover is. At this, I don't care about the title until I start reading it.
The summary is absolutely just soul moving.
So that's why I keep fucking up. No, I keep fucking up because I get drunk and forget to switch the label.
Yeah.
That's why I keep fucking up. It's completely me getting hammered out of my mind. Like, pretty much any fic that I've covered previously, 90% of the time is because I got hammered and totally forgot to switch the bookmarking.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
So, this... What the fuck is this profile picture?
You
know, that's actually a very good question.
Oh, yeah,
the
title. Yeah, I'm looking at him like, why is that just Naruto as a stereotypical church boy?
Yeah, like, listen, I'm not saying it's like a terrible look. It, like, whoever did that art is actually a pretty good artist.
Yeah, look is kind of terrible though. Not gonna lie.
Anyways, this is Naruto, the testament to human spirit. This is a rewrite to the Immortal Sage Trainer, which
listen,
I believe.
No, hold on a second.
Before.
If there's anybody who's a testament to the immortal human spirit, it is clearly Simone.
Yes.
Don't you mean Kamina?
Well,
Kamina.
Kamina.
I got nothing against.
It on to Simone.
I got nothing against Simone, but like.
No, look. It took a while for Simone to get there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it did. To the point where you're.
Yes. Yeah, the Immortal Sage Trainer story was also bad. So basically, to give you guys a quick recap on Immortal Sage Trainer, which is a story I had actually read before, and then realized it was from FTDS, and I'm like, oh, that explains so fucking much. So basically, Naruto ends up in DxD like in like 1,000 years before canon happens, and then creates an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And
yes, as you do.
Yeah. So this is like Hokage Naruto. So this is like post Hokage Naruto. It creates an island in the middle of the ocean, and then like just so happens to randomly, over the course of history, interact with every named character in DxD, and like ends up being Asia's father, and ends up being Koneko's father, because he saves Kaneko's mother, and then they have a bunch of sex, and they have both Kuroka and Kaneko, or maybe just Kaneko, because Kuroka was already born or something. It's like half the cast ends up being his kids, and he trains them all how to be sages from the Naruto-verse, because they all have chakra systems because they're his kids. Yeah. And yeah, and then Rias comes over and he smacks her around like she's a fucking 2-bit slut.
Wow.
You know,
I mean,
not
yeah,
kind
of like bro.
But I mean, you know, as much gripe as I'm gonna give FTDS for being FTDS, he did play her character pretty accurate in that Rias was basically like one of the only characters that didn't have interaction with Naruto up until that point. And so when she shows up being like, why the fuck is my pet cat, you know, liking you more than me? I demand you give me power and shit, because that's basically how she was at the start of the story. He smacks her around and gets her
FTDS moment.
It's an FTDS story, doesn't mean incest just turns him on. Yeah, there's a reason why I stopped reading, and it wasn't just because I realized there's FTDS. I stopped reading the story and then realized there's FTDS. I'm like, oh, that explains so much about this story.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sequence of events was not, this is FTDS. It was, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's FTDS.
This story is really weird. What was the summary again? Oh, the author's FTDS.
Oh, Sneaky, do you think we're gonna get another set of hate messages from him for this one?
Oh, dude, I fucking hope FTDS's entire fan base watches my show.
That would definitely spike the numbers up.
Exactly.
Oh, that would spike the numbers.
I couldn't care. I could not give a single flying shit if my entire chat box was just filled with people shitting on me. If even a 10th of his fans showed up, I could get partnered.
Yeah.
That is certainly a perspective.
I mean, you know, there are bigger streamers who have just only negative attention.
Yeah.
People like Darkside Phil, for example.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are we going to turn Sneaky into the... Well, okay, I can't say we're going to turn him into a toxic hate generation machine. He's already one of those. Are we going to monetize it, though, is the question.
I have been trying.
Really should.
What the fuck do you think I've been doing? I have been trying.
Clearly not hard enough.
Clearly not hard enough. That's my apologies, everyone. I wasn't being toxic enough.
Exactly. Well, this, but unironically.
I want people to hate donate to me.
They're donating just to try to get you to leave.
I couldn't care if every single one of them... Well, Darkside Phil is bankrupt because he's a fucking retard who keeps overspending all of his money. But I couldn't care if my entire podcast was filled with just hate messages of people constantly donating me money. I would feed off of that like a goddamn illithid, okay?
Thank you for that one.
Oh, and slurp that fucking shit up like a goddamn smoothie.
Someday we'll get fan art, and that's gonna be one of the things that's fan art.
Good.
I'm gonna make it someday when I inevitably am good at art.
The hate illithid, indeed.
Hell yeah.
People follow him on Twitter just to agree with his shitty Naruto power scaling takes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. FTDS does in fact have a fan base.
FTDS.
Fuck this shit. Yes.
I decided to look at one of those.
I was gonna say he actually has a relatively significant fan base, all things considered.
For being a fanfiction author, yeah,
2,000 favorites, 2,400 follows. Yeah.
Well, if a 100th of the people showed up each time, I would have double the view count. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's got links on his profile here, like this is why Naruto could be whatever. I'm looking like you have no reference of scale for this, buddy.
No, his reference of scale is shit like in the anime where it's like one frame he's this far and the next frame he's this far. Oh god, is he serious? Is status proud Republican? Oh god, the Democrat Party's looking really good these days.
Good thing good thing I'm a libertarian, eh?
Congratulations, you did something no one thought could happen. You converted to Democrat.
Exactly.
Thank fucking god I'm not a Republican.
Yeah.
Oh no, he retweeted something from the Fate Go US official account. Don't tell me he has Fate stories mixed in this now.
Of course he does.
Oh, of course not. He's always had Fate stories in there.
He does.
Yeah. He's had for a long time, I'm sure.
Anyway, so let's get this over. The chapter's short. We can fucking get it over with and move on, okay? So, in a classic fairy tale dragon slashing, he does. In classic fairy tale dragon fashion, he doesn't have a summary. He's just like, oh yeah, it's a rewrite of this other story, but I'm not going to tell you anything that's changed. I'm just going to say it's a rewrite of this story. So it's like, so does anything actually changed in this rewrite? Is it the exact same story this time?
Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Who can tell?
Who can really tell? Clearly not 2,000 people. He has so many fucking reviews.
What the What is this tweet that Barracks has linked? What?
Good old FTDS.
Wait, I saw... Are you actually a lolicon? Because it seems like these small, petite females are getting all of the real sexual attention in this story.
No, hold on, Sneaky. You left out... You inserted a word there.
No, I didn't. That's how Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer describes lollies.
Yeah.
He said... So I got into a massive Twitter argument with him over this, and he said they're not lollies, they're small and petite women.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Yo, he uploaded a story like yesterday. It's already gotten taken down.
Wait, what? It's already been taken down?
Look, yeah. Check that tweet.
Oh god, I gotta see this. Hold on. Pervert.
Yeah, wow, that tweet is unavailable.
No, not the tweet. The link in the tweet.
Okay.
As in this fake.
Let's see. What was his tweet? Yes, I see. Check it out. This story is a good one. Your story's been already taken down. 10 out of 10. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, Streamlabs? I'm gonna have to ask you to fucking leave. Okay.
Done.
My extensions, Streamlabs, be gone. You have caused me nothing but pain. Also, I suspect they have taken money from me.
God.
But FTE's Twitter is a goldmine. I wouldn't know since he's banned me from it.
It's actually amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever want to look at it, you can just sign out and just.
I know, but
Yeah.
so many anime have been canceled because of liberals and Democrats.
Wait, hang on, what?
So many anime has been canceled because of liberals and Democrats. They don't want you to see them or like them. As an anime fan, I must vote Republican to protect my country.
Wow. That's just impressive,
What?
honestly.
I am.
Oh man, I noticed that he put anime before country and family.
Well, you know.
I mean, at least
Yeah.
he's got his.
He's a Japanese insurgent. What can I say?
Ten no Heika Bansai.
This boy has some issues.
Wow, what's your
I'm
first
looking at-
fucking guess?
I'm looking at the character that was mentioned as a lolly. The anime makes her look like a child. The light novel actually tries to give her proportions. It's very weird.
FTDS writes in rich text format. That's not bad. Rich text format.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, what else we write in poor text format? That's for the liberals.
That's just called Notepad.
True.
And yes, I do know someone who wrote in Notepad.
Well, I mean, Notepad can actually save in RTF.
I'm pretty sure we both wrote in Notepad.
Notepad can save in anything. That doesn't mean you can actually have rich text in Notepad. It just means it can save as an RTF.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Listens to Love RU music. That's fine.
Oh yes, the
I
classic.
don't know anything about the soundtrack for that anime, so
It's not bad. Why are FTDS stories so good? I do tons of research. I love doing it. I listen to music. And I look at pictures of the characters. I pretend to be the characters so I can get super depictions.
that doesn't mean that you know what you're doing with the character, sir. Oh. I think we're losing Sneaky.
Come on, I gotta let me get through this story. Wait, fanfiction on that actually takes down stories? Oh yeah, they do.
They do sometimes.
They have a really weird.
Not nearly as often as we would like, but
they have a really weird bar for what stories get taken down. But yeah, they take them down.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it's just far more rare than it should be.
It's a really erratic criteria, and the admin or the mod seems to really have it out for FTDS because his stories get taken down very often.
That or that's just how that or he has far more haters than fans. They're just silent and they just report news stories as they come up.
It's possible, but also you have to keep in mind that FTDS has been in an ongoing war with the admins of the website, where he'll
that's true.
Repost stories that have been deleted, and instead of posting their original summary, he'll post in the summary, "This story was deleted by the admins, fuck you guys," and then they'll delete it again.
Oh no, Pedro clipped it.
What did he clip?
Proud Republican.
Oh no.
Proud Republican.
I wonder if it's forever immortalized here.
Story start. let me tell you all a story. It's not an overly long story, but it's a story I wish to tell you.
Can we, Sneaky, for our sakes, can we skip the rambling narration?
No, I'm reading it as written.
You never do that!
I know. Forgive me if it sounds like I'm going on and on about the story I wish to tell you, but I like to speak about this story now and again. It's an important story, a very important story, one story that must not be forgotten by time or those who are aware of the story, for human nature is a fickle thing.
I'm already not impressed.
It is him.
Humans hate what they don't understand, and humans fear what they don't understand as well by nature. Actually, it's you got it around. Humans fear what they don't understand, and a natural reaction to something that humans fear is to kill it.
Yeah. Hate.
Quite extensively.
So we hate it.
Or loathing in Las Vegas.
Yes. Yeah, so basically, human response to I'm scared of that thing is get weapon.
Yes.
And
Stab.
and cease that thing.
If I just kill it,
thing will cease. Don't need to fear it anymore if it's dead.
I was gonna say, remember, if it bleeds,
It can die.
we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. That's nice.
Oh, good old humans. What's that? There's a creature that's 3 stories high? Fucking hunt it to extinction.
Stab it. And stab it again.
And then stab it again to make sure.
Exactly.
Naruto could have had a harem of good-looking, highly trained ninja warriors at any time he wanted.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was just so popular in the village.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is just some twat trying to wax poetic about something he has no idea about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kind of. I would love for someone to upload whatever fucking version of Naruto the FTDS read. It must be so staggeringly different.
Well, Super Potatoes, you say unless the scary thing is strong enough to survive any attack.
You think that'll stop us?
So far, looking at human history, that has not stopped us. Oh no, it survived the first spear. Guys, throw 20 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why we're pack hunters.
Yep.
FTDS says Republican politicians support anime. Yes, that is his opinion. That Republicans are pro-anime.
That's true. Yep. Or they're anti-anime, I guess.
They're anti-anime, yes. There we go.
I mean, in that case, the best choice would probably be like libertarian or something, but you know.
Not
expect them to
all
have too many brain
humans
cells.
are this way. Those who have experienced hate and fear and overcome it are what humans should be. Well, actually, no. Humans that typically experience hate and fear from other humans typically go on to exacerbate the hate and fear they feel for other things. So, I would appreciate it if you got your head out of your ass. But, I mean, you are FTDS and your head is basically your ass, so... If wishes were fishes.
People try to get philosophical without actually understanding anything about philosophy.
Or medical studies. Humans can stand above their base instincts. Like when they get high? When a demon assaults the village, humans hate the demon. When a demon is sealed into a baby, humans hate that baby. Yeah. Because they need something to place their sadness and sorrow onto. Yeah. It's just how they are. It's a wonderful and sad thing. The human's ability to foster emotions, not the word you were looking for, be the emotions of love, or the opposite, the emotion of hatred. Actually, funny story, the emotions of hatred and love are not actually opposites of each other. It's a completely separate part of the brain. It's why you can hate someone and still love them.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to explain that to people is like, I can love someone and hate the shit they do.
Just like you can hate someone and
True.
love the shit they do.
Yeah, the opposite of love is indifference, not hatred.
Yeah.
Let's see. Humans will hate the baby. They will show the baby nothing but hatred. And when they can't hate the baby, they will do something worse than hate the baby. Ignore the baby.
Destroy the baby.
Corrupt the child.
Destroy the child.
4 benefits for girls dating Naruto.
Destroy the barracks.
Oh my god, Barry. The 4 benefits of girls dating Naruto. 1, he has muscles, and he's perfect for cuddling. And bragging about it to other females.
Where?
Books! He enjoys books! Transformation jutsu! He can be whoever you want him to be in bed. Also, he's a sexy woman.
This is not okay.
This is a thing.
Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer.
Also, I'm for him not liking books was kind of like a small subplot, which right, like, kid, do you not read books? No, books suck. Oh my god, why are you my godson?
To be fair, he hated books because he was never actually taught how to read, so he got really frustrated with trying to read, which made him hate books.
I don't think that's canon. I think that was fan and stuff. It would explain a lot, though.
Well, he also didn't have any parents, like...
Well, I mean, yeah, that's sort of what I was getting at, is, like, it's fanon that he wasn't taught how to read, but it's fanon because
there's a lot of circumstantial evidence in the show that points to him being...
It was never explicitly said in the show, but it's like, he's a 4-year-old orphan who had no parents, no parental guardian, and his first contact with written words was probably going to school and never having read or been read to or have any of that stuff ever happened to him.
Oh, okay, but like, we see him decipher a forbidden scroll. So
yeah, that is true. He did do
he
that.
has to have an average or higher understanding of language to have been able to do that.
That's
Pictures
fair.
or not.
I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't read, like, by the time he's graduation age. I'm just saying he would be vastly behind the curve of other children. And as a child...
He probably didn't like books. I'm going to be real. He doesn't strike me as a book person.
Oh, well, no, that's what I'm trying to get at, is as a child, he grew up behind the curve. So when everyone was told to read something, he couldn't, or he couldn't as accurately as the rest of the kids who were taught how to read as they were growing up. And then that grew into a hatred of books in general, because obviously the teachers would call on him to make him look stupid in class, because that's what it's implied they sort of did. And so he would be called on, and he would associate a lot of negative emotion with books, so he wouldn't go to books in his free time. And it's just a childhood hatred. One thing I don't understand is why so many Japanese main characters want harems. One of every love interest in the series is typically so high maintenance that going for multiple of them is asking for homework. That being said, a harem in Game of Thrones is okay.
Yeah, I basically just answered him in chat, honestly. It's more the author than for any real story reasons.
Lolly,
Just
big
because
titty, and other such labels don't matter to me so long as they are cat girls. I thought he didn't call them lollies. Well, FTDS changed his opinions by the hour, so...
Yeah, like fucking ping pong
Look,
ball.
he doesn't call them lollies when I called him out for it, but now that he's banned me, he calls them lollies. It's quite simple.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see, anyway, so... A child who has done nothing wrong but knows nothing but hatred and loneliness is starved. I wouldn't say starved in a physical sense, because even physically starving to death would be more merciful than the type of starving that this child endured. A child growing up with nothing, no love, no hope, and no family will be starved for something else. Starving for love and companionship of others, and not getting it. A child will grow to hate those who have it. Less hate, more envy.
Yeah.
And it's not all, you can't really even make broad general statements of a child will hate other children for having something they don't. More often than not, it does express as envy, but also more often than not, this is actually a big issue, is children will blame themselves for stuff that's out of their control, because they don't really understand everything else that's going on. All they know is they don't have something, so it's clearly something that they did wrong.
Yeah.
And this is actually a big found out thing with the high divorce rate back in the 90s. A lot of the kids from the 90s are, starting to get lots of therapy because their parents would divorce, and they would grow up with divorced parents, and as a child blaming themselves for such things, and then never getting it checked out because it just developed into other issues. So, fun shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm crawling in my crawl. Yes.
Your 7 crawl.
Makes sense. Yeah. It's the hatred. It's the pain of hatred and loneliness that would cause a child to understand suffering. True suffering that cannot be defeated through words. Defeated? It can only be defeated through determination. What? I don't even understand what he's trying to say anymore. But he's probably still wrong. That child had to grow. Hold on. Doing this.
What are you doing?
Lubricate. That child had to grow. Try its
Apply
hardest
WD-40 to
in
Sneaky.
order to provide himself to the world. But more importantly, as the child grew and proved itself, that child would come to understand the things that humans take for granted. Or they wouldn't. Typically, children that, have that hatred for the whole world wouldn't come to some, apocryphal, I believe is the word I'm supposed to use here, understanding
Yeah.
Of human bonds and emotion. They would grow from a angry ball of hatred child to an angry ball of hatred teenager to an angry retarded adult. They typically don't have epiphanies in which they're like, oh, now that I have grown up without bonds, I now understand the bonds of humans. No,
No, you don't,
a
dipshit.
child that grows up without bonds typically doesn't understand the bonds of humans. That's
I was gonna say,
That's kind
in
of the
fact,
point.
in
the
fact,
thing, yeah.
Technically speaking, it's highly remarkable
It's a whole medical
that
disorder.
Naruto didn't turn feral.
I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far. He had a significant amount of human interaction as a child. Very little of it was positive, but he did have a significant amount of human interaction. I'm more impressed by him not being the sort of hot topic, I hate the world sort of person. But again, you know, that comes down to a conversation of nurture versus nature. He clearly had two very willful, positive parents. And you could make all sorts of arguments of that being passed on to him and him just genetically being predisposed to just not looking on the dark side of things, effectively. Always look on the bright side of life. You know, that song. Naruto is Hitler.
Yes.
So says chat, Naruto is Hitler.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah,
Or
pretty much. He's got that, you know,
He was
blonde
denied
hair,
art
blue
school.
eyes. Exactly. He's got those sapphire orbs.
He's got the sapphire orbs and the blonde hair. The
Of
deep
course.
ocean sapphire orbs.
Naturally.
The ocular organs of the shade of unblue. Blah blah. Everyone's born with bonds. So many take them for granted, and you don't know what you got till it's gone. Pay paradise and put up a parking lot. This child who knows no bonds, even when given one, would refuse to let go. Actually, when given one, they tend to let go really easily because they don't really understand it. It's, again, it kind of, you know, sociopaths. It's a whole medical diagnosis. It's very well documented.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Anyway, so he continues to talk purple prose, and honestly, I've stopped giving a shit. We all know he's clearly just talking completely out of his ass at this point. Just every single thing he's ever said in this story so far has been wrong. His purpose was not to be a good person or learn skills. No. His purpose was to not be a demon.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Does
I
he even
see.
have a mouth? No, he's actually a singular opening life form
Yeah.
that learned how to
He's
use
like,
a keyboard.
Some kind of retarded squid or something, I don't know.
Some kind of retarded squid.
Look, right. No, wait, a leech. A
Yep.
leech, that's more like
No,
it.
new fucking headcanon. FTDS is actually a squid that stole a laptop.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough. Good work.
Smart squid.
Well, I
for
mean,
a squid,
aren't
yeah.
they pretty smart?
That just makes the feat of having hang on, let me look at this again. Hang on, sorry, I gotta pull this up. Having 45 stories that haven't been taken down yet. That just makes that a bit more impressive.
Yeah, exactly. He's a secret squidian infiltrator.
Yeah.
You think he hangs out with Octodad or he shit talks Octodad?
Obviously, shit talks Octodad. Everyone
Yeah.
knows squids and octopi.
They don't get along.
As we can see from, murdering the shit out of squids in Minecraft.
Exactly.
Oh. Alright, well, I mean, if we have proof, okay.
Yeah.
The violent murder of all the squids.
Unrefutable scientific proof right there.
I can't argue with science.
Exactly.
So speaking of which, because VTubers are far more amusing than this fucking edgy ass bullshit.
Yeah.
That man is and always will be me, Naruto Uzumaki. I'm super strong. My blue eyes sparkle in the moonlight.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but the clapping of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
This is an actual fucking description. Blue eyes sparkling in the moonlight as his golden hair softly swaying in the wind.
Yep.
3 whisker marks on each cheek.
I'm about 75% sure that's a white supremacist dog whistle.
Either that or a YA
Is
novelist.
Ina an octopus or a squid?
I mean,
She's
same
a
thing.
taco, which I'm pretty sure means squid.
Yeah, well, kinda, but kinda not really. She's sort of an eldritch being
Yeah,
of
octopus
some kind.
ball. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, taco. You know. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
but
figure out.
yeah, but well, Taco is kind of more what we are as her fans.
We're takodachi. Right.
Yeah, that's sort of the same thing, I think.
Now, fuck you. You know what? It's my opinion of you.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know, dude.
But yeah, so that was a fairy tale dragon story.
Yeah. By the way, Sneaky, before I forget, there are 2 Gura karaoke streams this week.
Oh fuck.
They're also playing Portal right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch that later.
I've been watching it.
But you know,
Obviously.
as I was saying, VTuber shit. Well, I pick another story. So Pecora hit 1 million subs. The rabbit girl.
Oh, yeah, her. That.
And as part of her 1 million sub thing, she decided to reveal to her mother what she's been doing for the past 2 years. Her mother that she lives with. And her mother, bless her soul, has thought her daughter for the past 2 years has been talking to the weirdest fucking people on the internet possible and has just brushed it off as her daughter having friends.
I'm just glad she has friends. That is what that mother is.
Yeah.
I
Bless
mean,
her fucking soul. Pecora's like, was it 23, 25?
20-something. Yeah.
Bless her fucking soul that she has had a daughter live with her in her early 20s for 2 years now.
Screaming.
And has not questioned where any of the money her daughter is getting, and has also not questioned why her daughter keeps saying "Pecco, Pecco, Pecco" while she's talking to her weird friends.
Or saying, "Oh, thank you for the super chat."
Yeah.
There's something to be said for parents like that. And like, it's either you're a great parent or what the fuck is wrong with you? You need to be paying attention to your kid.
And the funniest shit to come out of it, though.
Kid and kid, you know,
The
not really a
funniest
kid
shit to
anymore.
come out of it, though, is you know how Japanese you have different ways of speaking. Like you say words differently in Japanese depending on casual or formal.
Yes.
Yeah, keigo, as they call it.
Apparently, what happened was that Pecora's mom, you know, knew she was being invited on, so she got really nervous about this whole thing because she's like, you know, a mother in 2020 being told that she's about to meet 1 million people that her daughter has been streaming to.
Yeah.
So she got super like shy and formal in all of her speech. And so everyone has been drawing fan art of her mother being like super elegant and like, you know, high poise and whatnot. And Pecora made a follow-up stream video about that reveal stream. And she's like, I keep seeing videos and fan art of my mother, you know, being all this elegant and you know, very refined person. And she's not that sort of person. She was just very shy and nervous. You know, if she was acting normal, she'd be like cursing and super casual, except now she isn't. And now you all think she's elegant. She's not fucking elegant.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It's great.
And she's also been doing her due diligence to retweet as much Mama Pecco art as possible.
And it's some good fucking shit, I'll tell you that.
Oh god. Oh, well, What is this? This is a Ruby gamer fic.
Oh no.
Okay. Ruby gamer fic, let's go.
Neo Shadows.
I've never heard
Kinda
of this
cringe.
guy. Have we covered this story before?
Don't think so. Post the link and we can check.
No, doesn't seem like
That's a nope. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Who the fuck has just texted me?
I'm sure it is your.
One of my
beloved-
ex-coworkers
The tax
has just
authorities.
texted me an image.
Oh, it should be good.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, my favorite holiday song about how people are assholes until they need something from you. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Boomer
Yeah.
humor.
Fair point. Fair enough. Good meme. Anyway, so this is Multiplayer, a Ruby fic by Neo Shadows. I'll just drop it over here as well, I suppose.
Oh, what's here as well?
On Shiro. So I basically officially have a channel now over on Shiro's server.
Well, I mean,
Unofficially,
it's
officially
Trashing
have a
Trash
channel.
Fix channel.
Yeah, so he added a Trashing Trash Fix channel, and he has pinned my podcast to it.
Fabulous.
So I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
He knows your opinion on his
Oh yeah,
fix,
no,
right?
he knows. You know,
Okay.
I get into constant verbal spars with all of his mods too, so it's great.
Yep. Me
You
too.
must be
It's
you
great.
must be like a massive source of entertainment for him.
Yeah.
Probably. Honestly, he actually got a kick. Apparently, he got a according to the DMs, he got a kick out of the mods flipping their shit over me. So
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's kind of based like me and Orf in terms of server. He's just like whatever. It's
I'm
hilarious.
just here for memes.
Boy.
But no, it's kind of funny. No, I get into arguments pretty often on that server with mods.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Someone tried
I'm just
policing my
able to
Some
speech.
arguments with all the mods on all the servers.
Someone tried policing my
He's fine
speech.
with us.
Who wasn't even a mod.
Yeah.
In the Real Hijinks channel, basically where you talk about real life shit. I said based Jap, you know, to refer to the Japanese, which means people of the Jap, because that's what Anese
Exactly.
means.
Yes.
Like saying Pakistan and calling someone a Paki. It's like, yes, because Pakistan means people of the Paki land.
Yeah. Sort of. Kind of.
But
Pakistanis.
they're like, oh, saying Jap is racist. I'm like, I couldn't give a flying shit if it's racist. Oh, well, I'm just trying to protect you. I couldn't give.
From what?
According to him, he's trying to stop me from saying Jap in real life, just in case someone takes a swing at me. I'm like, well, I'll just kick their shit in like
I
have
got news for you.
to every other person that's
First of
ever
all-
taken a swing at me. I'll just kick their fucking shit in.
First of all, Sneaky
Yeah.
is not whether or not he should be. Sneaky is not afraid of someone taking a swing at him. Two, listen, the only swing I'm taking at Sneaky is from behind at the back of his skull, right about where I know his brain is weak.
The only swing I take at Sneaky would be 7.6 to lead at about 100
From
yards or
far
so.
away.
Because
Yeah.
listen, I just happen
Far away.
assuming his brain is damaged roughly the way mine is, I know the spot to punch.
Well, I mean, everyone gets hurt
Yeah.
pretty bad right there. But no,
Well,
it's
I know, but I'm
yeah.
just saying specifically, it like there's every chance that a hard enough knock to certain areas of our specific noggins
yeah.
could, in fact, temporarily blind us, if not permanently.
Oh no, I've taken hits that blinded me before, yeah. But no, that's actually something I really hate is because that's considered the knockout spot on someone where you hit that and they drop. But I really hate that Hollywood has fucking ruined what a knockout is.
Oh God, yes.
Because people think, oh, you just choked them and they cut off their ear and they fall asleep for a while. It's like, okay, if someone is knocked out for longer than a couple seconds, it means they have brain damage. That's why they're still unconscious. Like, your body's really good at making you get back up, okay? Like, if you're knocked out for an extended period of time, that means you have brain damage. And it's like, oh, well, knocking them out, it's the non-lethal option. It's like, dude, they have probably a fucking concussion now, and maybe they might even wake up retarded, like, from now on. Like, they're going to have their fucking diaper changed for the rest of their life.
Bonk, you are now retarded.
I was gonna say again, it's largely dependent on what state their brain is in, how long they remain unconscious, how long the airflow is cut off during the period of unconsciousness.
Not only that,
but
it's like as you can see from football and boxers, like it can just be a singular blow to the head at the right spot, at the right angle, with enough force, and something just clicks off in their brain.
Yep.
And it's fucking brains. How do they work? Magnets. We don't know that shit either. But still, it's just like, I fucking despise what Hollywood has done, because every fucking game these days has knockout options. Like, I like Deus Ex's knockout option. I didn't like the whole fucking, melee knockout option. But I like Deus Ex's knockout option of literally shooting someone with a tranq dart. And then they fall unconscious. It's like, they have fucking drugs in their system and they're knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, well, we can thank Metal Gear for that.
Right, yeah, that too.
Yeah, like, there's a handful of martial arts techniques that are meant to knock someone out long term without causing brain damage.
Yeah, but
you can be unconscious with a concussion and not actually be in danger.
Well, I would say,
but
on the most technical levels.
That. You don't.
I mean, there's also nerves
part.
you can hit that will send certain signals to the brain to basically go into like emergency mode and you shut down.
Yeah, but again,
also don't forget, technically speaking,
like high
concussion
level.
is brain damage.
Yeah.
Technically speaking.
Technically.
Yeah.
I mean, your brain can heal it to a certain extent, but still, it's not the same shit. Like, oh yeah, they fucking choked a bit and now they're knocked out. And it's like, okay, yeah, that means they have fucking brain damage. Or especially the shit with, like, the banging their head against a wall and shit. And I was like, oh, it's a non-lethal takedown. They're knocked out now. It's like, yeah, that's because now they have severe head trauma.
Whoops.
That's probably still going to kill them.
That's what's known as an accident.
It's like... And I will give, fucking, what do you call it? The steampunky London game.
Dishonored?
Dishonored. Yeah, I'll give Dishonored gruff about that too. Where they're like, oh yeah, he just fucking chokes people and they get knocked out. But it's like, oh, also magic exists in the game, so it's like, fine.
Thief has one of my favorite instances of non-lethals, which is you just whack him in the back of the head with a billy club. You're like, I think he's dead.
Yeah, that's...
I don't think he's unconscious. I think I just killed the man, and you're just trying to make me feel better about myself.
Yeah,
Mama, just kill the man.
I mean, that's literally what happened.
Oh God, I killed a man.
You know about the knockout game?
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. But it's killed people before, and not just because like they fell and they hit something when they fell down, but no, literally getting punched in that part of the head can kill you.
Yeah, because there are 2 or 3 vertebrae there that if they hit just right, you're done.
And it's like, yeah, that's also why the person gets knocked out if they get hit there, because it jostles that area, and so they get knocked out temporarily. But it can also kill you.
Honestly, my favorite instances whenever I hear about knockout game is knockout game goes wrong, gun pulled on knockout game player.
That's the best part. Like they miss the spot and the person's just like, ow, fuck you, pulls out gun, bang, bang. That's the funniest fucking videos I've seen.
Like, I don't like seeing people killed, but there's some instances where, like, well, he took the first swing, and that was attempted homicide. In most instances, that was an attempted kill.
Darwin Award.
I love what's it? Justice porn, I believe it's called.
Oh,
Yeah.
the subreddit where people are immediately like
Like they
instant
do
karma
something fucking
type stuff.
beyond stupid and then immediately get retribution for it. Yeah, I love that shit. No, I absolutely love that shit. Like the Antifa member who assaulted someone up in Washington, the state. Except Washington's a stand your ground state. So the guy pulled the gun out and blasted him.
Oh boy.
And it's like, you fucking dipshit. You completely deserve to die. And he did die, because fucking retard came up to a guy and attacked him in a stand your ground state. Like, what are you fucking doing? Oh god.
It's just one of those things. Also, just something I did want to clarify. Some people don't understand the difference between self-defense and stand your ground laws.
Yeah.
All a stand your ground law means is, if at all possible, before using lethal force, you have a duty to attempt to remove yourself from the scene safely.
Well, I mean,
i.e.,
there is gradations.
Yes, there's gradations, but
Yeah.
the basic underlying principle is some guy with a knife says, "Get out of here, or I'll stab you."
Because
You can't
Castle
just
Doctrine,
go bang bang.
Yeah, Castle Doctrine is actually a more advanced form and the true form, as I would say, of standing your
Better
ground.
form.
Where Castle Doctrine basically is a set of laws dictating that you have no duty to retreat, and in fact, you it's implied.
Specifically within your own home.
No, actually,
Not really, no.
no. That is usually how it's implied, but actually, most states apply the law as in a general thing. Is if you see someone else in danger, or you are in danger, or your things or someone else's things are in danger, it is allowable for you to use appropriate force to prevent those things from being in danger further.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, so it's just one of those things. And believe it or not, stand your ground laws actually apply differently to you when you're the defendant versus you when you are acting to prevent a wrong as well.
It's also, like I said, gradation based on state, local laws.
There's gradations in all of those.
You know, federal interpretations. If you're in a different state when you live in a completely different state, and a whole bunch of fun things. But anyway, this is Hello Fanfiction World. My name is Neo Shadows, and life is a game. In attempt to save a friend during the breach, John Ark died. We're brought back to life with the powers of the gamer. He must now attempt to beat the game called life. I mean, that's super easy. Just get to college, have 2 kids, get a house, and get no loans, and you pretty much win the happiness points. Please tell me I'm the only one that understands that reference.
Don't want to say I do, but I'm not sure.
Mayhaps.
The game called Life, board game.
The game of life.
I figured that's where you were going with it, but like it's been so long since I've heard anyone even mention that fucking thing.
So going to college and successfully completing college gains you a happiness point. Having 2 kids at minimum gains you a happiness point. Getting a house gets you a happiness point. And then you pretty much win the game by that point.
Yeah.
And then the year, what was it, 99, 2001 happened?
Yeah.
And all that flew out the door for our generation.
Yeah.
That's
just get a job, Lamau. Just buy a house, forehead.
I'd love to,
Oh,
Boomer.
yes.
But you fucked us over on all of those.
Fuck this over.
Fuck you, Nixon. Wait, was Reagan? I don't know. Whoever
both of them, to be
took you
honest.
guys up the gold.
I mean,
yeah, the gold
yeah,
standard. all that.
technically it was both of them.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's
Fuck all the
not
presidents, honestly.
alone, though. For you see, every win or loss ends in a reset. So how will he beat a game that can't end?
The answer to that
By
is you simply
Win
don't
condition.
play.
What do you mean every win ends in a reset? What is that? What does it
If he
mean
wins,
every
he
win?
just restarts.
Like,
It's a roguelike.
I mean, I guess that is what it would imply, but what is the win condition in this instance?
Who knows?
And why would it?
Not the author.
It's not the author, apparently. For those of you who are unfamiliar with me, I usually stick to writing fairy tale fics, but as of late, I am caught up with work and life and stopped writing for a year or two. I can't remember my crappy excuse for a memory, but 3 months ago, my new laptop came back for repairs, and while looking over old documents, I felt the urge to write again. I just couldn't get back to writing fairy tale, so I decided to see if I could get my creative juices flowing again by diving into something new that I enjoyed. Cue this story. Ruby was always an anime that I loved since stumbling onto it when Rooster Teeth had
Anime.
begun uploading its episodes to YouTube, which are all now gone and only available behind the Rooster Teeth first permissions. But anyway, I still remember when Max first sent me an episode of Ruby, and I asked him if this was a joke.
I think I replied, no, it's got potential, but the fight scenes are dope.
You sent me the first episode, and I replied back with, I think you sent me the wrong thing. Because the first episode's a 5-minute clip with, like, okay fight scene at best, and, like, really jank animation on some parts.
Yeah. By the way, there's a thing that I was thinking about with Ruby and Crow using scythes that I was like, we don't see often, but in the Red trailer, we see Ruby's scythe convert into a proper war scythe form, like the blade literally just straightens out to be a proper polearm.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, it's in the Red trailer, and we see her do that. And it occurred to me that we only ever see Crow really use the scythe when Monty was still animating. We only ever see him use the scythe against Grimm. Otherwise, he's stuck to sword and gun for humans because a scythe against a human is kind of useless.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
It doesn't actually make sense. So why was Ruby swinging a scythe around against normal humans?
She is
Blunt force
mentally
trauma.
challenged.
When she's clearly been trained by Crow to be able to use it as a like two-hander sword or polearm.
Probably because it's easier to animate it as just a red and black blur spinning around in a circle, where he can then say, "Oh, well, yeah, it totally just pierced that Grimm and stabbed it," instead of actually showing like the animation motions of her stabbing it, because she was probably going to be the one most featured in all the fight animations. So it's far easier as a shortcut to just have her spinning around like a fucking demented wheel, rather than
The wheel is
actually
demented.
animate her attacking. Because if you haven't noticed in a lot of combat animation, she does that very often, where it just fucking blurs into the spin.
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Spin to win.
And now I'm just
Mid-spin.
imagining every victory in battle causes the scenario to reset. I mean, I guess, maybe, who knows. Anyway, so Ruby was always an animal, blah, 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 blah. I decided my first fic would be the Gamer John, which, if I was honest with myself, was getting kind of old with all the fics with Gamer John in it. But I couldn't stop myself, as my new idea wanted to be born, and I wanted to take another spin at this new genre that's been popping up. This was posted back in 2016. After all, in some games, there is more than one player. Yeah, except here's the problem. So, I'm gonna tackle this before we even get into the story because we're not actually gonna read this first chapter mostly. If you look at the little scroll bar, you can see why.
Yeah.
So I queued up this story mostly to talk about the gamer genre in general, but also why you don't see multiplayer gamer stories come out. So basically, the problem
Terrible
with gamer
fucking
is you
idea.
have power escalation, and it's really easy to accidentally power escalation, especially if you're using the Korean system, which is extremely prone to
Fucking
power
retarded.
escalation. Yeah, retarded. And so when you have more than one character who is rapidly escalating in power, you end up with a Dragon Ball scenario in which the characters who are rapidly escalating in power either have to be completely outclassed by the new villain that is inexplicably more powerful than them for some random reason, or they just raffle stomp everything. And so then you have to come up with reasons as to why this inexplicably powerful villain is just randomly showing up and hasn't been here the whole time. AKA space invasions. Constant fucking space invasions. Dragon Ball.
Thanks, Dragon Ball.
And you really cool it off with the space invasions.
Wow.
I would say,
funky new alien.
at
Who's he gonna
least
kill?
Bleach was like the first time anyway. Where did Aizen come from? How did Aizen get strong? He cheated.
Well, I mean, the thing
cheated.
is that actually Bleach had a good explanation as to why these people, A, didn't get involved beforehand, and B, were really fucking strong. So the explanation that Bleach came up with is, A, they're really fucking old, so they've had a long-ass time to train, and some people were just really lazy and didn't train as hard as some other people. So the people that trained really hard over a very long period of time ended up being really strong. And the other people who were just as old ended up just not being as strong. And the other reason is that because either they were so old or so well trained, they were just like, well, I really don't need to get myself involved in this thing. So they didn't. And then Ichigo got stronger and he ended up in an issue that involved them or involved something that's concerning them. Or Ichigo came to them because there was an issue where they were stronger and he needed their help to solve the issue. So they got involved. And that's why they didn't get involved earlier, because it was just so under their pay grade, effectively. And all that made sense. Really, the only time that Bleach finally lost a hold of the power escalation was the post-Aizen arc, where Aizen got defeated by Ichigo. And then they're like, oh, well, the hidden Quincy's in the shadow of the Shinigami realm secretly actually were as old as, but were not as old as, because they were displaced from time, the Shinigamis, and they all were able to train as much as the Shinigamis, but not that same amount of time passed. And
also, they didn't get old and die for some reason.
yeah, and it's just like arbitrarily they're just more powerful for no apparent reason, and like, oh, it's because they're empowered by
Also,
God.
by the way, apparently the Hebrew God really
Yeah.
hates Soul Reapers.
Yeah.
Wow. Who could have
The
thought?
Hebrew God with a bunch of Germans.
Oj vej, gå in.
I thought that was probably the funniest fucking bit of it all. The Hebrew God, but his army is a bunch of fanatical Germans.
Who he gives magic powers to.
Interesting.
But
foolish.
Sense of humor. But you know, they've really lost the plot at that point. But anyway, so gamer fix. Having multiple
Gaming.
characters with the gamer powers that are independent. So typically, the author likes being like, "Oh, well, this is a party system, and he's going to include people into his party." And so they get the gamer system applied to them as well, or some shit like that. And It's a minor exacerbation of the gamer power scaling issues already. I say it's a minor issue because typically, even then, because they're companions, the author typically either forgets to focus on them or just generally just sidelines any development they have to just always be weaker or as strong as the main character and never really serve much of a purpose in the story because they want their main character to be the main focus, which is fair enough. But the problem is when you have multiple gamers in a story that are independent of each other, it's implied then that they can have independent development, and it's implied then that they are both equally important to the story. Because it wouldn't make sense that you would say that your character is the chosen one, but also that other character is also the chosen one, but he's less important than your chosen one. And it's like, okay, well, why is he less important than my chosen one? Well, it's all because I said so. It's like, well, then what's the point of even making him the chosen one then as well? There is none. So why put it in the story? Because fuck you.
So here's the thing. I actually really appreciated,
Yeah.
believe it or not, Wheel of Time handled multiple chosen ones extraordinarily well.
Mhm.
Wow. Another thing Wheel of Time handled well. Color me surprised.
All right, listen here. Nobody fucking asked for your opinion.
Go on, Atin.
Too bad. Gave it anyway.
Yes, I'm aware.
What are you gonna do about it? Huh?
Not letting you two keep talking.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point is, the Wheel of Time built into the author built into the universe the concept of chosen ones, people who
Right.
instead of getting bent by the wheel of fate, they get to bend it.
Right.
And so they were like, and so there's the guy, the main guy, Randall Thor,
Yep.
and they're like, he is an absurdly like he basically breaks the scale of chosen ones. And then they're like, and his two best friends, like they're strong enough chosen ones that if Rand wasn't there, they would literally be deciding the fate of the world. As it is, we're pretty sure they're there to continue to help him decide the fate of the world.
Right.
And that was how they had. They're like, no, listen, these two get to be special because they are special. They're a little bit less special than this guy, but like getting people who wouldn't normally agree to sit down and shut up and have a productive talk, they get to do that too.
That's fair enough. But yeah, no, it just my advice, you have to always keep in mind, is my advice isn't tailored towards generally writing an original story. Because obviously when you're writing an original story, you can set the world however you want to set it. And as we've fully seen from the popularity of, stuff such as 50 Shades of Grey, Twilight, Harry Potter, and etc., you don't need to be a good author to succeed with an original story. You just need to know how to pander to your audience. But that's the thing, is that separates an original story and fan fiction, is that fan fiction already has a foundation and already has the framework. The house has already been built. You can change the wallpaper, you can change the flooring, you can change the appliances, but the house is already built. Trying to add additions on just makes it look stupid. And so the problem there stems from the fact that you don't have as much freedom as a person who is making the rules does. And that's why I give the advice I give in the way I give it, in that, you should avoid these things, you shouldn't do these things. Because typically, I'm not giving advice to people who are better writers than me. Typically, people who are better writers than me already know all this, which is why they're better writers than me. And B, it's fan fiction, and I don't know. I'm just gonna keep fucking saying it. It's different from normal fiction. It just is. And so when I say, you're an amateur writer, you probably You know, this might be your first story, it might be your second story. I mean, fucking hell, Shiro himself has restarted the same fucking story with the same fucking characters 3 times now. Because he's realized each time that, oh shit, I already fucked up the power scaling. Oh shit, I already fucked up this, I already fucked up that. Because you're adding systems in to a pre-built system. You are attaching more shit to shit that's already there. It's a lot to balance, and new writers aren't typically great at that, and I try to, you know, discourage people who have never picked up the pen before from trying to write the next Shakespeare right off the bat.
Could it work? Possibly. Will it work? Probably not.
It's like I said, it's the same thing. Technically speaking, 10,000 monkeys could eventually write Shakespeare themselves. Technically speaking, a first-time author could write an amazing story. It doesn't mean they will.
Yeah, the odds are, well, not in their favor.
I want people to succeed. I want people to succeed, and I want them to get better writers. But to become better writers, they first have to succeed in writing a story. And to succeed in writing a story, they need to set expectations for the story in the realm of what they can actually accomplish at the time. Just like how when you are a starting runner, you don't say, I'm going to run 50 miles today. You say, I'm going to run 5. And you work your way up. Because sure, you can say, I'm going to run 50 miles today, even though I've never run before. And sure, you can try really hard. And sure,
you might succeed.
You'll
probably kill yourself in the process, but you might succeed.
But at the end of the day, you're probably going to succeed better and get a hang of running better by setting your sights a little bit lower at 5 miles. You can work your way up. You know, maybe you don't have the time to slowly work your way up. You know, maybe you run 5 miles for a while and then you're like, okay, I think I can handle 10 miles now. And you start taking jumps. You go for the bigger stories. You try and fit more in. You try and do more. That's fine. Or you can keep failing to run 50 miles every single day until someday you do run 50 miles. You know, it's up to you. I like to think that my advice is trying to push you more towards what feels more achievable. Some people like to be super challenged.
Some people are mentally challenged.
Some people are mentally super challenged. Also good for them.
Did we just get hit with 2 bots at once?
We did. Yeah. We just got hit by 2 bots at the same time, which is impressive.
Fuck out of here.
This Twitch, I really appreciate you preventing me from banning this person by putting the ban button underneath my taskbar.
Don't worry, I got it.
Twitch really wants to make sure you don't ban that man. But
anyway, so, you know, Vale is in disorder, the emergency sirens are flaring, and everyone's panicking. Team Ruby is killing Grim, and John's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, are you now?
And he's getting ready to kill some Grim. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna kill some Grim. And then he's like, oh, well, who the fuck am I kidding? I'm not gonna kill any Grim. I don't even know how to stab things with my sword.
And yet here you are.
So some self-lamentations and complaining. And Blake screams. And John's like, oh my god. These civilians have no weapons or armor. They can't defend themselves.
Yes, John. That's what makes them a civilian.
These civilians have no military equipment.
Well, you know what we call civilians around these parts. Acceptable casualties.
No, Arn. They're not called acceptable casualties. They're called an unfortunate statistical happenstance.
Or, if you're a part of the Obama administration, retroactive combatants.
That may be my favorite piece of political speak to date.
Isolated incidents.
Isolated incidents, yes. We had 1,000 isolated incidents
Whoop.
that happened in a pattern.
Yeah. All isolated though, you know. No relation, just isolated incidents. I love that meme.
Anyway, so he's like, Nora, do the thing. And she's like, really? Do the thing? And he's like, yeah, Nora, do the thing. Nora, smash. And she's like, yeah, time to smash things.
Ooga booga.
Yeah. Drug think, line go down.
Oh wait,
Like,
hang on. You just passed a sentence that has upset me in a way that
Oh.
few Ruby sentences have. May,
Good.
may God or Ohm help them.
Oh, yes, may God or Ohm help him. Yes, you see,
Usually they stick to one or the other.
you see, the Ohmites are actually a heretical faction in Ruby, and they don't believe in the one true God, which also
they
doesn't
worship
exist
war.
in Ruby.
Does that mean Jean is polytheistic?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
No,
technically.
Max, what it means is he's the worst kind of heretic.
I mean, technically, no. Hold on now, Atin. Technically, he put God first and then Ohm after him.
I mean,
I would
so-
say,
wasn't God pretty like?
You will have no
Anthony-
gods before me.
Yeah.
yes,
that's
you
true.
are technically correct. So you know what? I stand corrected. He's just skating a thin line. If he starts building any calves out of gold, we'll have to have a talk.
Atin, just remember, David and Solomon did the same thing. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yes,
think we can
and
all take a lesson
look
from
how
Solomon.
fabulously that went for both of them.
I
They
don't know,
were
man.
both great.
Solomon,
It went
Solomon,
really well.
yeah.
For a while at least.
Solomon did pretty good. You know, throwing that out there.
Just infinite wisdom. Just his.
Cutting babies in half and whatever.
I mean, hey, that's the big brain take. Every person gets half a baby.
At no point did he cut a baby in half.
Wait, is that where the 2.3 kids comes from?
Yep.
That never happened, but okay.
Do you understand my 2.3 reference, though?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I just wanted to be sure.
Sneaky,
get it
just
twisted.
because I understand your stupidity.
Don't get it twisted. Big ups.
Calipog.
Calliope.
Calliope. I did love that Callie stopped the stream just so she could go pick up some fucking melon bread.
Yeah.
Sorry, she stopped the stream just to go run to the convenience store.
No, it gets even better. So actually, she stopped the stream so she could go on a local delivery store website, and she purchased some melon bread on the delivery site, and they delivered it to her door in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Huh.
That's Japan.
I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? What, Japan? How does Japan have a bread delivery service and the USA doesn't? Like, come on.
I mean, imagine it's not just bread, it's like a grocery store. And I'm fairly sure there are services for it.
We do have services for that. Amazon will deliver groceries. Postmates does
in
that.
5 minutes?
Well, okay, no, hold on a second.
That depends on how close you are and how big your order is. She
Also,
ordered presumably one specific kind of item,
2 loaves.
possibly 2 or 3 of each.
Yeah.
well,
but,
and
like-
bear in mind, let's be clear, it's also largely dependent on where you are. Like, if I'm
Yeah, that's
downtown, I can get food from Postmates or Uber Eats or whoever way faster than I can get it out here in the fucking suburbs.
Yeah, that is true and fair, but still, it's just like Japan's got it down with the fucking bread, where it's like, oh, she's like, oh yeah, I'm eating some fucking raspberry jam melon bread right now. I'm like, God fucking.
Oh, that sounds fucking great, actually. I don't even like melon that much, but damn.
It's called melon pan or whatever, but it's like doesn't actually always have melon in it.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the type of bread. But yeah, she had like raspberry jam and like this fucking cinnamon nut one, and I was just like, what the all these? She's just talking about how fucking soft and fresh the bread was. I'm just sitting here like, God, come on, US, we gotta step up our bread game.
Yeah.
We can't be the fat capital of the world without having, fucking drone delivered bread.
Listen. All I'm saying
Drone
is
strike the bread right into your
Pizza.
bread box.
I mean, yes, but listen. Pizza Hut is working on a pizza delivery drone, and I can't wait. Just open my window and just give me that pizza.
I can't wait for the Domino's to retaliate with their attack drones.
Is Sneaky? Is this how the corporate wars start?
This is how the corporate wars start.
Yeah,
It began with delivery drones.
Yep.
I mean, China has an anti-drone unit.
Yeah.
They have
so does France.
anti-drone drones that throw nets on other drones.
Was that in Tokyo?
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say it was Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo,
Oh,
between the
yeah.
police and the Yakuza.
The Yakuza was like, we can use drones to deliver drugs, and the police were like,
We can use drones to catch the drones that deliver drugs.
So then the
Yeah.
Yakuza was like, we'll use drones to catch the drones that are catching our drones.
That have the drugs.
The arms race. Genius. And then they realized, wow, this is way more fun than fucking drug trafficking.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. Like, that's not even a joke. They realized, wow, this is actually pretty fun.
Great. I love it. 10 out of 10. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, John's getting really pumped to stab some stuff. Unfortunately, it's not himself. And so anyway, he's like, yeah, these civilians don't have military hardware, which is, that's another thing that always struck me really weird in Ruby. How apparently there's civilians that don't know how to fight in a death world.
Here's the thing, I could understand it in like a city.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
in like one of the big cities, absolutely. But
Yeah, well, we actually do see evidence of that, where in the city it's a bunch of city slickers, and the one time we see an actual village, which, with people still alive, is Rin and Nora's village,
With
where there
people
are a
still
couple of
alive.
hunters that
I
are
think
just
that's the key
normal
part
ass
there.
hunters. Oh no, I know, but like, Rin is one of like 4 or 5 just hunters that just happen to have aura unlocked. That's the one time we see an outskirt village with people living in it, and they drew a really bad fucking straw when the Nikolavi showed up.
Yeah,
we can handle 98% of the Grim. What happens if the other 2% shows up?
Oh,
We're fucked.
We die.
Yeah,
We're
because
ugly fuck.
they do a decent job being like, the most common Grim are the 3 we see consistently: Beowulfs, Borbotus, and
Ursa.
Ursas, and Ursas are probably the worst of those. Then the alpha variants are like, okay, those are tough, but we could probably handle them. Anything past those 3, it's like, all right, we're fucked. Start evacuating.
The gorillas are coming. Sound the alarm. The monkey is returned.
You will return to monkey, or monkey will return to you.
You either return to monkey, or monkey will return to you.
No true fair humans. For monkey is back. With a vengeance.
A revengeance.
Exactly.
I still can't. I'm still upset that's an actual word.
Detroit become monkey.
That's something I never wanted to hear.
Honestly, that sounds like a $2 asset flip game on Steam. I'll put
See,
that real
I'm
quick.
sorry. All I can fucking think of now is Senator Armstrong, but he's a fucking gorilla.
Okay, so you'll be interested to know that typing in Detroit Become Monkey actually does return a result for a game called The Council.
What?
But The Council is meant to be a,
I know what the council is.
yeah, for some reason, that's what those 3 terms return on Steam. and I don't understand why.
Return to monkey, or else.
The monkey comes.
Just fucking Senator Armstrong is a goddamn gorilla, but he's still wearing a suit though.
Of course.
Gorilla.
He's a
I mean, why
stylish
wouldn't he?
gorilla.
He's a Chad gorilla.
Fucking catches the blade in one hand, starts signing American Sign Language in the other. You gotta break a few eggs, Jack.
That would make it pretty much infinitely better. I'll be straight.
No nanites. No, nothing special. He's just a gorilla in a suit. That's it. No nanites or anything special. He's just a gorilla.
He is only monkey.
But he has achieved full monkey. That's what he draws his powers from. Oh, there we go.
Glad Arn found the video and decided to post it.
We need a Izuku returns the monkey. Sorry. Get on that, whoever writes.
Oh no.
You write. So
I don't write
do it.
my hero.
You could.
I could. I don't. I still want Izuku returns the monkey.
The only one that I know of is Lulu.
Yeah, well, we all saw what happened when Lulu tried to write a My Hero Academia story.
Idiot.
Dipshit.
Well, I mean, it is Lupine.
Let's have the villain attack this kid for no apparent reason at all, and have the villain comment about how he's attacking this kid for no apparent reason at all.
Well, it's simple. He had to
destroy the child. Detain him for no apparent reason at all.
Comes there like, bruh, the fuck is this? Oi, bruh,
Couldn't help but
you have a
notice you're
license for
assaulting a
that
child.
kid beating, eh?
And then they detain the child for being assaulted. It's like, wait, what?
Oi, kid,
Now
you have a license
that's-
to be assaulted, oi?
You get your assaulting license yet, boy?
That's some real British.
You know,
Yeah.
to be fair, that has literally happened in Hero Academia. Why am I under arrest? I acted in self-defense. Well, you used your
We're
power.
not even saying that, Max. We're saying he got attacked and then got arrested for being attacked. Not that he defended himself, but because he was attacked, he was arrested.
Did that actually happen in that?
Yes, in that story it did.
Pretty sure I was here for that, but I either zoned out or just said fuck that.
You said fuck that. I started talking about the criminal and how they were interacting with the criminal, and where he's like, I stole this purse, but now I'm gonna take this kid hostage. And you're like, all right, I'm out. But that's a real British moment. Oh, wait, you got your assaulting license? Yeah, right here, officer. No, this is your assaulting license, not your assaulting license. You're under arrest for being assaulted without a license.
No, officer, I swear, I got it in me other pants. You got to believe me.
In me other pantaloons. As the Irish accent slowly slips into his voice, he gestures for the cop to return to his car.
Come out, yeah, black and tans. Come out and fight me like a man.
He used his Irish superpower to place a bomb in the car.
Oh, you're a
see-
Protestant, eh? You're a Protestant, eh? Kaboom.
I'm gonna get fucking.
Did
No,
you
it's
get your
okay. The
protesting
Irish
license?
are white. No, hold on. It's okay. I can be racist to the Irish. They're white. Right. You see,
God.
the Irish actually have a sub language proficiency in bomb wire.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that actually reminds me of a joke I saw earlier.
Oh God, I don't. Do I?
Arn, we're just gonna go ahead and say no.
Look, I can find. I can post it in the fucking
Yeah,
text.
just post it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, don't.
I don't. I don't remember it
No.
like fully, so I won't embarrass myself. Don't worry about it.
Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, Pierre is smiling at her leader while civilians die around them, and she was like, "Man, John is so cool. He's standing tall in the face of danger as everyone dies around us."
That
If
was like-
only John could do something to prevent those deaths.
No. See, they're necessary deaths to make John look more heroic when he saves people.
Of course.
And so he's like, "Guys, come on, protect the civilians." And they're like, "Oh shit, that's right. We're supposed to protect these people."
Oh yeah, that's our job, isn't it?
No, listen, I want John to be like, guys, we have to protect the civilians. They haven't paid me yet.
And for some reason, he feels the need to add this. So he goes, "Protect the civilians, and also make sure to help people who need help."
Listen, I want Ruby the Racketeer. Yeah, that's a nice house you
Well,
got there. Be a
I
shame if
think
some Grim would
you
pack
need to talk
bullets.
to Orf then, because he refuses to write more chapters of Me as Ruby. And you'll definitely be getting Ruby the Racketeer out of that one.
That's true.
So anyway, so he's trying to fight, and he's like, "Oh man, I have to fight." He tried to get his blood flowing by jumping up and down in the middle of a combat scenario.
I gotta get my blood pumping before I go to the fight, guys.
And so then an
I'm
Ursa just
tired.
kind of drops down in front of him, and he's like, "I'm a boss battle." And he's like, "Oh man, for fuck's sake. I actually have to fight a Grim during a Grim invasion? Ugh,
What is this nonsense?
what is this bullshit?" So the Ursa roars and tries to fight him. And he's like, "Yeah." Okay, wait. So he stabs the Grim a bunch while shouting, "Take this, this, and this," and he's actually killing the Grim pretty hard. And he's like, "Blink, blink, blink. What? I actually killed the Grim?" And he's like, "Stay back, I have a sword and I just learned how to kill Grim with it," he yelled in fear at the Grim. So he yelled in fear at the person who was shouting next to him. Wait.
What? What's going on?
So he stabs the Grim a shit ton, and the Grim finally dies, and John's like, "What the fuck? I actually killed the Grim?" And then Sun Wukong says, "Wow, that was overkill." And then John spins around and points the sword at him, and he's like, "I just learned how to kill Grim with this sword." And he's like, "Yeah, well, stay back. I have a badge and it's laminated." I mean, the Sun parts are funny. The rest of it's pretty dumb, though. And, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were Grim. You shouldn't sneak up on a hunter while they're stabbing Grim." And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm not a Grim. You should pet my tail, it's fluffy."
What?
No. Furry. Fuck off.
And John's like, "No, fuck you." And
Sounds like some
"Oh,
furry shit right there.
you're a hater." And he's like, "Wait a second. Your son Neptune. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud when I should have known who you were this whole time I've been talking to you. What are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, well, you see, we were just, being hunters, and turns out a Grim invasion happened, and so we were like, yeah, we should probably stop that."
We're doing the thing, we've been training for more than half our lives. It's this weird,
No,
desire.
yeah, again, I'm actually giving credit where credit's due. The sun parts are written pretty well. Oh, we were strolling through the neighborhood, walking our pet iguana, Iggy, and then we took notice of the horde of fucking Grim crawling out of the ground, John. What the fuck do you think we're doing here?
That sounds
Again,
exactly like him.
That's a fair point. I
Yeah.
added the word fuck in, but it's a fair point. It's really weird to ask another huntsman, what are you doing here at a Grim Invasion breach point? It's like, I don't know. What do you think he's doing here?
Okay, I'll be back in a little bit.
Max is gonna go get some, fucking,
Vodka.
what's that drug? No, it's the one that kills you. Cyanide.
I was gonna say, Sneaky, there are several drugs that do that.
Yeah, I can think
Like,
of like 5
technically,
off the
all
top of my head.
drugs do that. You just have to take enough of them.
Also true.
Yes, but that's pedantic, and you know it.
Pedantic?
Pedantic. Yeah.
Pedantic.
I don't know. It's not a fucking pendant. It's pedantic.
That's a good joke.
I'll pronounce
Arn.
words however I please.
You're
So
not
I'm
sneaky.
right and you're
Wrong.
wrong, so be quiet.
That's a
No,
good
fuck you.
joke, Arn. But no, you're not allowed to say that out loud.
Ah, damn.
That's good. That's good though. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So then they shot some more Grim, and then Neptune was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put my plasma rifle away so I can talk to John." And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Is this some fucking Oblivion NPC tier shit where they're like, "Oh, where I know we're in the middle of a fight, but let us holster our weapons so we can talk. Hello, how is the weather? Are you here for a quest?"
I would say my personal favorite is put that away or I'm not talking to you. Daedra, pouring out of the Oblivion Gate. I ain't talking to you until you put your weapon away. Fine.
And another funny bit is I remember reading a Elder Scrolls story recently where they made a reference to how all of the NPCs, instead of following their flee script that was supposed to activate in Oblivion during the Oblivion Crisis invasion of the Imperial City, instead started fighting the Daedra pouring from the Daedric Gates, which is why it was so easy. Because the Daedra was supposed to be swarming you, and it was supposed to be this like super tough fight. But instead of all the NPCs running away as they were supposed to, and leaving you to fight the Daedra, even without weapons, they would turn around and start punching the Daedra.
Nice.
And I was reading an Elder Scrolls fic recently, and they referenced that how even Imperial citizens during the Daedric crisis wouldn't retreat. would fight the Daedra.
I'll
Based.
fight these Daedra with me bare hands.
Castle doctrine.
Just
Stand your ground.
they're standing there. Unlike the Argonians who counter-invaded.
That's just a big flex, honestly.
No, I was gonna say the Argonians just had a much more advanced version of it, Sneaky.
Standing on your ground now, haha. Fuck you.
Standing on your
How do
ground.
you like it, punk?
Technically, I'm standing my ground now on my ground because I've claimed this ground is mine.
Exactly. Ding dong, your ground is mine.
Ding dong, we claim this plane of oblivion in the name of the Hist.
I think my favorite part was the only reason they left the Oblivion Gate was because you were going to close them all. They were perfectly content to keep the gate open and remain there and make it a province.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
Well, yeah.
part of the lore.
Yep,
Manifest destiny. Based as fuck.
they definitely manifested some fucking destiny there. And it's just, everyone's just kind of sat there and was like, wait a second. Didn't the Dark Elves have like, the Dunmer have like these guys under slavery for like 300 years?
Child.
Was this all part of the Argonian plan? Because clearly
Oy vey.
the fucking Daedra didn't stop them. I'm pretty sure they just didn't feel like stopping the slavery.
Base?
Well, you say there's two options there. Either they didn't feel like it, or because they spent 300 years, they were like, nah, never again.
It's the fucking turtle meme. My time has come.
Exactly.
Anyway, so, come on, son. What did we talk about your rage for? You're not gonna rage quit again, are you? One time. That happened one time. I'm sorry, it's been stressful with all the fighting and Grim popping out of nowhere. And having a fellow blonde point their thing at me hurts. Sorry about that. Nah, it's alright. Neptune's right after all. Always am. Shut up. I shouldn't have shouted. That was just so cool. That thing didn't even stand a chance. You took it out like a total boss. You should be like a detective like me and Neptune, you know, after we save the day and kill all the Grim. Maybe later. And so blah 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 squee. Well, a bunch of fucking shit. So, you know, it just keeps going fucking on and on. And Weiss is about to get cut in half by a chainsaw. And so he jumps in front of the chainsaw and he gets cut in half instead.
And no one was sad.
And Weiss actually still gets cut in half, so she also dies, and John's
based.
like, oh no, I wish that she wouldn't die and then I could do this all over again so I can save her. And I don't care what power I need to do it. I'll give you my whole soul, just let me protect Weiss. And so he gets the gamer power. After fucking Jesus Christ, the fight. This is one fight scene I'm still fucking scrolling through. Blah blah blah, and so he finally fucking dies and he wakes up. John, are you okay? I didn't hurt you. Sorry. Appear as interesting as grown, affection leveled up, blah 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 blah, the fuck. So yeah, so literally one single fight scene took about half this entire scroll bar. Was one single fight scene where he's fighting this guy with a chainsaw and somehow doesn't beat him immediately because chainsaws are not a fighting instrument. Or a musical instrument.
What? No.
Patrick.
Mayonnaise is not an instrument.
For those of you asking about pairings, it's going to be a comedy harem.
What?
Meaning that I'll do it like a harem fic, but I'm actually going to make a optional epilogue ending for each girl actually getting him in the end. There's still going to be romance here and there between everyone, but it's mostly going to be played for laughs.
I'm about to get racist.
Well, it's a good thing, I guess we can end it here then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, it's a really poor showing for a first chapter. I understand the author's intent in really fleshing out John's motivation, which I give kudos for, and, you know, really, you know, getting into his mind so the audience really understands where he's coming from. Again, give kudos for that. But the author spent way too much time doing that and not introducing the system. In the first chapter, the audience should know what they're getting into, basically. John should be getting his system, however he gets the system, and he should be either ending it at him getting the system, as the author did, but that would be for a normal gamer fic. Problem is this is supposedly a multiplayer gamer fic, and I'm frankly just not interested at this point in time in the general premise of the story. It's like, oh boy, we're in a character that's basically a fucking cardboard cutout, and we're in their head, which isn't really hard,
Yeah.
considering you can basically make anything be John's head, because John has the personality of Tofu Block.
I take
Yes,
it
to the void.
the chapter did not improve.
No.
No, the chapter
No.
didn't really improve. I mean, the author did a good job in making sure the audience really understood John's motivations and what exactly his mental state was. But the problem was, it was a single fight, took up half the chapter, and you saw how long the chapter was. But the fight was against the chainsaw wielding guy, who should have lost instantly to literally anyone, because chainsaws are not a melee instrument.
However,
Wait,
Pedro does raise a good
chainsaw.
point. Chainsaws are an instrument if your name is
Hang
Slick
on.
Gordon.
Do you mean the dude that had an auger?
The lieutenant for White Fang.
I thought it was like an auger drill instead of a.
No, it's a chainsaw.
I'm misremembering that.
No, it's actually an exceptionally long chainsaw. It's actually
like
an extended
even
length
worse.
chainsaw. It's the dumbest fucking shit in existence. It's so unbalanced, and it makes no sense, because the second it even impacts anything that can catch the cutting bit on the chainsaw, it breaks the chainsaw.
Why did my brain replace that with a big ass drill?
Because
that'd
it
be
made
cooler.
more sense that way.
Possibly because you really love big ass drills.
Yeah, that's a fair point. An auger would have been cooler, to be honest. Like, if he's already going to be using an impractical weapon, an auger would have been cooler.
I want to make a Ruby character now. It's like, I use augers, or what's your fighting style? I primarily use piercing attacks. Just crank this sucker up to 3,000 RPM.
What's your primary
Right.
fighting style? Well, generally I dig underneath the Grim and lay massive amounts of bombs.
Technically speaking, it's not so much warfare as it is sieging them.
According
Each
to
Grim is a
Atlas,
castle.
I have to answer for war crimes, which is both impressive and sad.
Damn. I mean, workers are kind of based though.
But no, I was talking about mainly, specifically in this instance, how he spent so long in the first
I'm gonna go
chapter generally just talking about John's mental state, and then right at the end was like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a game system and John just woke up. But now that could have been excused normally as a first chapter ending point, but the problem here is the concept was not fully established in the first chapter, namely being that it's a multiplayer game system, not a solo game system. So he didn't introduce the characters that are also gamers in this story, which honestly is a make or break point, not so much as in the multiplayer aspect, but the fact that who else has the gamer power. Because you can certainly catch far more people if you're like, well, it's a John gamer story, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, sure, we've seen 10 billion of those. But also, Sun Wukong's the other gamer, and everyone's like, okay, well, now we're interested. And I feel like that's a both missed opportunity in terms of hooking people, which is what your first chapter is supposed to do, and also a missed opportunity in explaining things so you can actually move on to other shit, which is kind of what you're supposed to do as an author. Make sure the audience knows enough about what you're explaining about for them to understand what they're supposed to think as things go forward. And the problem is that admittedly there is a hint at one point when John is fighting and Sun Wukong sneaks up on him and John threatens him with a sword. They're talking about Sun rage quitting, which implies both Neptune and Sun at minimum know about the game, or one of them's the gamer as well. But it's just, if you're concept is that the main character is reset back in time, only this time he and other people have gamer powers.
Damn, he do be gaming
That
though.
by the end of your first chapter, you should establish that he has gamer powers and who else has gamer powers, unless it's supposed to be this big mystery of who else has gamer powers, at which point kind of loses the attraction of the concept of multiple people having gamer powers. Because at that point they're just a villain. If they're supposed to be mysterious, they're either effectively a sidelined antagonist or a sidelined Deus Ex Machina, where their only purpose is to just progress plot. So, you know, it was an okay chapter, but it just went on for so fucking long. It just went on for so fucking long. So long.
Yeah.
But I've said my piece. And we've already had several people abandon. So clearly everyone else has already come up with their opinions on this.
Just one, I guess.
I suppose.
You know, the only person left was Atin. But I mean, I guess it's probably fat enough to count as like 5 people. So
It's possible. Haven't seen him in a while, and he clearly hasn't left the house much.
Exactly.
But anyway, we're at 9 o'clock, which means it's time for us to cool off, cool down, and do something else for our change in our lives. But regardless, I'll see you on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because there is always more, it does always get worse.